I knew I was going to have to look at myself, and at this point my life depended on it.
I was in a place where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
My son is an addict. It seems like a dirty secret that one of your children is an addict.
I'd hidden my addiction quite well and just arrived at a place of desperation.
I came to Broadway Lodge because I knew I needed some help.
But it was coming here, wasn't it? It was that first time that I realised we weren't alone.
I was assessed to come into treatment. I was offered Broadway Lodge. I walked through them doors physically, mentally and emotionally broken.
It's the place that loved me when I didn't love myself. I believe it's a massive part of why I'm here today.
Broadway Lodge is a compassion-focused addiction treatment centre. Their souls are broken, but the pilot light of their souls are still alive, just slightly, just flickering away, even though at times they felt like there's hardly any hope left. What we do here is we just inject some petrol into their soul, and they start to come alive. They start to smile again. They start laughing again. It's not easy, but it's probably the best thing they'll ever do for themselves, for their families, for their friends, for society.
I've lived at home with my wife of 20 years. My relationship was hanging by a thread, and I knew I needed to get some help. The first contact I had with Broadway was really positive. Jumped in a 12-step program, which at that point I realised was what I needed to be following. I think the biggest fear for me was the shame and the guilt, but that quickly kind of subsided actually, and I did settle in really quickly through meeting other like-minded people.
I just got to that place where I knew I couldn't cope anymore. I was getting on in age, and is this the legacy I want to leave my children? Mum, an alcoholic in her 60s. I kicked my addiction into touch as far as I'm concerned. A mum again to my children, and faith restored in me by those closest to me. I just had this overwhelming desire to come back and volunteer here. It's rewarding for me, and I think it's good for the patients here to see volunteers come back after having been through, you know, a lot of what they've been through.
Broadway Lodge do a medically managed detoxification, and that means that they're cared for 24 hours a day by qualified nurses who are experienced in delivering detox. It means that we can respond to changes in people's needs really, really quickly. I think the team truly want to make a difference for people. They will feel cared for from the moment that they arrive. It really is beautiful watching somebody healing and coming back to life again.
My detox was really hard, but the staff were really loving, kind, caring, compassionate. You know, Broadway Lodge has brought out the best version of me. I don't have to be a slave to a drug.
So I come from a life of addiction, crime, and children removed from my care because I couldn't be a good mum. Since I came to Broadway, I work full time. I have a little boy who's in my care and who I am able to be a good mum to. It's far from easy, and the easy thing to do is to run. But I wouldn't be where I was today if I didn't come through Broadway Lodge, and that's my truth.
My son is an addict. He's been in sobriety for 3.5 years, and I take pride in that.
They just perform such brilliant work here. I honestly couldn't praise them enough.
They've given us new angles to look at life, not just addiction, but everything. I'm a calmer, more rational person. I think more before I speak, which is unheard of and a big surprise to you, really, isn't it? So, yeah, it's just working with them here has been a joy, an absolute joy.
Life is just so much better.
The most liberating thing I have ever done in my life is to put my hand up and say, I'm not okay. Because the moment I did that, my life changed.
We give people lives that addiction was taken away. The amount of people that have come through this place that have started businesses, started new careers, gone off and just literally flown. All we do is we plant a seed and we give them the instructions on how that seed can grow into a beautiful flower.
Just when you think it's at the darkest hour and there is nothing else left, there is nowhere else to go, this place can change that.